Welcome to this Sunday's Gospel Reflection. Well, the little girl adored her dad, but her dad was so very busy, so dedicated to his family. He would leave early for work, while the child was still sleeping, and return home late at night when the girl was already in bed. So often she would ask her mom, "When will Daddy be back home?" She missed him so much. One evening, she went up to her dad and asked him, "Daddy, how much are you paid for 1 hour of your work?" Her dad was surprised by this interest of his daughter in his work. "Well," he said, 15 euro per hour, and the matter stopped there. His daughter went back to her play. One evening, the daughter went up to her dad and said, "Daddy, finally, I have saved 15 euro. Here, take them. Now, will you come and play with me for 1 hour?" You see, life can be funny, but it can also be heavy and demanding. There is so much to do, so much to worry about: cooking, cleaning, working, housekeeping, a million things. And of course, all this means money. So we work hard to make sure that we have everything we need. It's normal. We seem to have made a very good job of this. Our standard of living is indeed impressive. Our comfortable homes, our luxury cars are so impressive. Our shops, they are brimming over. And yet, why are so many people unhappy? It's not because they are bad or irresponsible people. Most of us are well meaning. We are dedicated, generous people, with our defects, of course. But the question remains: why is life becoming harder and daily more and more challenging, in spite of all our so called progress and comforts? In today's Gospel, Jesus is not afraid to challenge us with one big question: are you wasting your lives simply because you still do not know how to waste your time? Everything is important in life, but nothing is more important than people. What is the use of all the comforts and good things that money can buy if you have no one to share them with? What is the use of all the knowledge, all the success in the world, if you have no one to share them with? What is the use of life itself if you have no one to live for? The words of Jesus are a loud and clear challenge to the Martha within us. We want to do things, toil, and work hard to make sure that our lives are comfortable and secure. Our days are full to the brim with so many activities. We need money. We need to do shopping, medicines. So we end up simply too busy to notice how busy we are. Like our country, overcome by this construction frenzy, our personal life becomes a construction site of our own self imposed projects. We end up living exhausted, exhausting, and polluted lives. And Jesus looks pitifully. He loves us too much not to challenge us. You are worried. You're anxious for many things, but only one thing is really necessary. And Mary, she has chosen the best thing that no one can take away from her. And that one best thing that Mary chose, you know what it was? Simply sitting down to be with Jesus and enjoy listening to him, being with him. And the best thing and only thing that matters in life is a loving relationship, being close to someone who is dear to us. Call it love, relationship, friendship, togetherness, presence. Nothing can fill a human heart if it's not another human heart. Unfortunately, we often miss the whole point in life, and in spite of our best intentions, we get lost doing whatever we think is necessary for us to survive. And that's why life becomes exhausting. What does it profit a man, says Jesus, if he gains the whole world and loses his soul? It's when we lose our relationships that we lose our souls. How many children grow up not knowing their parents? How many parents grow up and grow old not knowing their own children? We lose our souls because in the daily struggle to survive, we simply forget who we are. We forget what is really essential and important. We lose our own selves. In gospel language, our souls. To take just one example, it is so sad to hear about young married couples who are totally alienated by the demands of life. They need to work endless hours, they need to pay the heavy loans for their new home, they postpone having children because life is expensive and complicated, and then the pressure to keep up with the lifestyle that society imposes. So easy to get mixed up. What is most important? Is it building a house or building a relationship? What is the use of having a brilliant career if, in the process, you fail to build a real solid relationship with your husband, your wife, or your own children? In life, only one thing is necessary. Yes, we need food, clothes, rest, holidays, money, but let us beware of our own short sightedness. All these are necessary, yes, but they are just means to help us to do one thing: share our life journey with our beloved. It's not what you hold in your pocket, overflowing wardrobe or bank account that really counts. What counts is whose hands do you hold and whose name is deeply engraved in your own heart. What fills your heart? Is it the things that you have or the persons that you love? Which reminds me of the little boy whose elderly neighbor had just lost his wife. The man was sitting sad and weeping in his front garden after her funeral. And the little 5-year-old boy crossed over to his neighbor and went to sit in his lap. After a long time, he got back home and his mom asked him, "What did you talk about with our dear neighbor all this time?" And the child simply looked up to his mom and said, "Nothing. I just helped him to cry." That is the only thing that matters. That is the only thing that can never be taken away from us. Loving people is what life is all about. All the rest is perhaps useful, but secondary. Let's go back home and ask ourselves what we are living for. Whom are we living for? If the things we want or need are sucking up our time, our energy, then we are barely surviving our lives. If it is our loved ones for whom and with whom we are sharing the journey, then we are fully alive. Martha, Martha, you are anxious and worried about many things, but only one thing is really necessary. And Mary, she has chosen the better part. It will not be taken away from her. You see, what the world considers waste of time, Jesus considers gain of life. God bless you and thank you.